Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sam. So some of you guys from Patreon, right? One of my patrons, they asked why I'm picking Nate Diaz, right? Why do I think Diaz is a strong pick, sort of a strong pick, right? So first of all, shout out to you guys, large boy, because it's nice when you guys interact with me. I know what you guys are interested in, and that gives me more of an idea of what you guys are actually looking at, what it's working for you guys, what is not. So thanks for interacting with me. So let me explain that in the video. I think it's much easier, and then I'm gonna take the opportunity actually to do two things. One of them is to show you guys the fighters DB. So this spreadsheet is part of the Patreon $50 tier. So for those guys that are part of this tier, you guys can also take a look at this, how to use this. Okay, so this is the tab where I'm at. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, instead of going through that standard presentation, let's because I don't have it, by the way, so let's do two things. Let's go through in order here. Let's go Li Jingliang and let's go Daniel Rodriguez. So what I'm doing here, I'm just filtering, right, because I have a lot of them, and I'm not going to explain this in this details, not to extend this video for too long, but the idea is that I'm rating per my experience these aspects here, right? So starting off where they are, right, their age, their stance, and then offensive takedown, their tenacity on the takedowns, their offensive grappling skills. And this is I put some comments here. For example, this is included the clinch game when I'm putting these ratings, right? So their takedown defense, their defensive grappling, I didn't put it here, but also includes submission defense. This submission offense, actually I could move it around here. Then comes on the striking part, so offensive striking, so includes power. I think not so much. I think actually let me fix this one. When I'm doing this, it includes the creativity, the technique, right? So how well they can do it. The power is in another area. So creativity and technique, and this one, their aggression, overall aggression, not only the feet. Then the striking defense, the counter striking ability. So then it comes some other type of aspects, not so technical. So first of all, their momentum, right? So how they're doing in terms of their motivation, or how at least it's obviously subjected to my idea. This is a little bit more complicated, right? But still, I'm putting some numbers here to try to gauge this. So their cardio, how to evaluate it, how they perform in adversity, if they have heart to win. So if they execute well in the game plan, their height and reach, so more like a physical thing, right? How their reach is in comparison to their division, how good they are in fast finishes, how good they are in late finishes, how powerful they are, how athletic and fast, their physical strengths, their size here, so physical strength and size, right? So in their current, not prime, how they are currently, right? So how their their training partners. Let me put this one, camp and training partners. And then their experience. Then it gives their points in total, losses as per their record, and then this is my current fighter greatness. So my metric in here. So how great they are, right? So between Jiang and Daniel Rodriguez. So basically, guys, what's the difference here if I'm gonna compare in these things? The main thing that stands out here, it's the volume for Daniel Rodriguez. So I don't have much volume. It's under 7, so below average for Li Jingliang, right? So the difference could be Daniel Rodriguez volume, right? But another good part in here is the power, right? So Jingliang has more power than Dirod. Dirod has good power, but not outstanding. Maybe even 7.6, 7.7 here. I think Jingliang is also faster, right? He also has the better takedowns, right? He's a little bit better and he's more tenacious with his takedowns. I think he grapples a little bit better than Dirod. This is actually arguable. Probably Dirod has 7.2 here, but I couldn't see much, so I think that Jingliang at least he practices more. So basically, I have them about the same amount of points, right? And by my rating, they are actually rated pretty much the same because it's Dirod tough, right, and putting volume, and Li Jingliang can find power. He is a little bit more well-rounded. So both good fighters, both fairly experienced. Li Jingliang is more experienced, so advantage to him too. He's in a better camp, right? So good advantage in there as well. But still, to me, and he also a little bit faster, like I told. So this to me, it's a 50-50. It's tricky because D-Rod is tough to KO this guy, and he has more volume. So I do understand people that are favoring him. But I think overall, I see a little bit more chance for Li Jingliang to mix this up, and he can land something big. Still the judges. So to me, it's 50-50 in there. Okay, so let's go through the other fight, which is Khamzat Chimaev and Kevin Holland. So I'm again applying those filters, so you guys know those aspects here, those numbers. So what stands out here, obviously, Khamzat is a wrestling monster. He's a grappling specialist, right? And that's where Holland has his deficits. Not that Holland is bad. He doesn't have that bad takedown defense or that bad grappling, but at his level, now at the highest level in the UFC, obviously people dominate because he's sort of average or a little bit below average. What other things that stand out to me is the aggression for Khamzat, right? The man is super aggressive, obviously, with the wrestling. So why would I bet Kevin Holland here? Guys, first of all, the size of the guy is incredible. So height and reach for Holland is a 10 for sure. 6'3" he is, right? With that massive reach. Obviously, Khamzat is no small man, so he has a good rating there too, right? I think Holland's a little bit more power, not much, but a little bit. I think Holland's a little bit more athletic, right? Even though Khamzat probably rate him a little bit more poor, maybe a little bit too much for Kevin Holland. So Kevin Holland's definitely around the 9 range, right? But the physical strength is tricky. I think actually probably Kevin Holland deserves a little bit more in here. Khamzat also is another better camp, but I think Holland has more experience for sure, right? So you guys see by points, Khamzat has big, right? He's almost 200 in points, so high level, elite level. Kevin Holland has about 12 points less than him, so by this type of thing is more or less tricky, right? What does it mean having 12 points more? It means probably like Khamzat is 70% favorite because he's at the highest level playing against Holland's weaknesses. So yeah, 70%, 65 to 70% for Khamzat. At my ratings, he's almost 9, Khamzat, whereas Kevin Holland is on the 8 range. But guys, the thing is here, we'll see. I think Holland has decent chance to survive, right? I don't think he's gonna get finished in the first 2. He's gonna probably get dominated and smashed, but I don't think he gets finished. Let's see if Khamzat somehow slows down, that Kevin Holland can find some clean shots. We saw Khamzat getting caught by Dorino. He was, very wobbled in there. Holland has power. That leverage is ridiculous. So yeah, Holland, guys, it makes sense to bet him, in my opinion. And by the way, I think I'm going to also add a prop on Holland by knockout because that line should be very interesting. You want to see where that line is. Holland by knockout. I'm taking a look here on my phone. Holland by knockout, let's see. Yeah, Holland by knockout plus 600. Yeah, so it's quite close to plus 400. Yeah, I think I would stick with the plus 400 in there because there's not too much difference, but still, small bet on Holland. To me, makes sense. Like I told you guys, I'm going like 0.7, so I'm not confident. Plus, it's such a wild turn of events, right? Khamzat missed weight. I don't think he cares, right? You just listen to the guy. You can definitely see that he says he doesn't care. He's gonna do his thing. But anyway, let's see how it goes. And Holland is a big dude for welterweight, so I think the line's a little bit off there. Okay, so that's why I'm betting Holland. Let's go on the main event. Like I told you guys, I think Nate Diaz is the biggest bet for me. Let's see, Nate Diaz against Tony Ferguson. So again, they're both about the same age, right? I think actually maybe I missed here. Probably Nate Diaz is already 38, but still the same age in there. So in terms of takedown, they're both not their thing, right? Even though Ferguson a little bit better in terms of the technique, I think, but he doesn't shoot enough. Nate Diaz, when he shoots, when he does the body lock takedown, is a little bit more tenacious. I don't think it's that poor takedown, actually. Probably these guys deserve like 7, 6.5. Maybe it's a little bit more tenacious here for Ferguson. The grappling, I'm favoring Sometimes I rate them. They're very poor. Depends on my head I just made before, but still, I think Nate Diaz has a little bit of advantage over Ferguson in the grappling part. The takedown defense for Diaz is poor, so yeah, Diaz tends to lose when he gets taken down. He cannot out grapple guys. Tony could take him down, but I don't think Tony gonna keep, the top position, gonna keep out wrestling him. So that doesn't concern me. I think it's mostly gonna play out on the feet, right? In terms of submissions, all of this, I think Tony's a little bit more dangerous the submission, but I don't see him catching Diaz. So to me, it's gonna come down to the striking. I think by technique they're pretty much the same, but I like Diaz aggression a little bit more. To me, he's an 8. His volume is ridiculous, right? Maybe it's not 9, but it's at least 8.8. He's also more tough to hit. He also times better his counters. So to me, Diaz has a distinct advantage on the feet, both in volume and aggression. I also think he has the better cardio, at least for a 5 round. He's been training for a 5 round for a long time, right? I think Tony's a little bit better on the game plans because Diaz basically just is a boxer in there. But anyway, it's effective. We know that. So the rest, they're about the same size. Maybe Tony's a little bit more athletic and faster, but that doesn't concern me. It's about the same. They're both massive experience. And another thing that stands out to me is the toughness. I think Diaz is definitely a 9 on tough. And Tony, the man is tough. He's there for war, but I don't think his chin can take that anymore. He's now going to welterweight for the first time in a long time. And it's a 5-rounder. Nate Diaz was preparing for a 5-round, and now he's fighting a 5-round, whereas Tony was preparing for 3 against Li Jinliang, who is not the guy that pushes the pace, that throws lots of volume. And he would have the range against Li Jinliang. Against Diaz, he doesn't have. Diaz has the range, at least on the arms, not so much, but he does have 1 or 2 inches. So that's why I think, guys, that Nate Diaz should be at least minus 150. I'm going like minus 170 by my calculation in Diaz. By the rating, they're pretty much the same. I rate them quite similarly in terms of their how good they are. I have Nate Diaz almost at 8, but Tony has a welterweight at least 7.7, at least at this point in his career. So to me, guys, the X factors here weighing a little bit more. It's the Diaz toughness, it's Diaz volume, and the 5-rounder that keeps my eyes here open for this one. I think that Diaz is a decent favorite. Okay, so that's it, guys. So by the way, let me show you guys the props that I have. This is part of the $50 tier, but since this is little time to update you guys, I'm putting everything out here. So these are my props, right? So I talked about already by Daniel Wolf by decision. By the way, I'm gonna be betting like close to 1 unit on Daniel Wolf. I think her size is interesting, right? I don't trust Norma Dumont too much. Norma probably gonna dominate on the first round. If Wolf survives, I think she takes over that fight. So a live bet on Wolf, if you can do that, definitely go for it. I think Wolf is tough enough to, even if she gets dominated on the first, she's gonna continue trying. Okay, I think this woman is tough, and a live bet on her would be really excellent. But Wolf by decision. Now, guys, Nate Diaz, I told you guys how tough he is, the volume. I think the first round, Tony probably going to win. The second, probably Tony, or at least very close. From the third, I expect that Diaz takes over. I see a finish for Diaz in the 4s, right? So I'm taking a shot in there. I'm going 0.25. If I catch this one, I have 5 units back. So let's see how it goes. Or Nate Diaz round 4. Also, Diaz round 3, I like it a little bit. And Diaz round 5, also a massive potential profit here, close to 5 units too, but I like a little bit more on the 4th round, so putting a little bit more money there, and the same amount on the round 3 and round 5. And guys, this is a new one too. I think this is a very good one. Chad Henniger, round 3 especially, right? This guy tends to finish people in round 3. I think Alatang Hailey gonna dominate the first with the wrestling, then he could slow down and Henniger starts finding shots. He could finish Hailey on the round 2, but I think Henniger has a very good chance for a comeback. Also, by the way, Henniger live bet, also interesting. This guy is tough. He's a veteran. So if you can bet that too, go for it. All right, so, but I have here prop Henniger round 3. I think this has a decent chance to cash, and it's plus 2,000. It's excellent. And Turkali by decision. This is a long shot, right? Tough one. Mostly thinking that if he survives. I haven't seen Almeida after the first, so who knows? Maybe Turcali can take over. I don't think he finishes Almeida. It's also not impossible, but anyway, plus 12, 1300. I think it's worth a shot to try to cash at least one unit here. Okay, so these are the props. There is a decent chance that none of them cash, but I think if you guys see in here, is some of them cash, it already pays off for the others. Wolf by decision. I think there's a decent chance. Diaz round 4. It's a decent chance to, right, and Henniger round 3. So this obviously either one I like better, but then the other two also, I also like a little bit, right? That's trying to go for a possible scenario too, and this one, let's see, who knows. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me your feedback, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, Sam, and I'll talk to you guys next time. See you.